Hello everyone, what's up? It's me again, Junkmaster3, and yes, it's time for a new horror review video, which has been a little bit delayed, you could say, because there's so many movies and stuff I really need to watch, and obviously I need to make more videos in general because it's been almost like 2 weeks at this point. So this is definitely going to be like a horror review video. Definitely, of course it is, but otherwise you wouldn't have pressed this video. But obviously, after this one, I'm gonna try to prioritize the top five of the month for the month of June. Yeah, but anyway, this film I'm going to make a review of today, a horror review video, is the film called Route 666, with Lou Diamond Phillips and Laurie Petty. This one also has Dale Midkiff, I believe his name is, who I think is probably most famous for portraying the lead role in Pet Sematary, the original one. Now, this film is basically about Lou Diamond Phillips's character, Jack Ruby, I think. Not Jack Ruby, but Jack LaRocca is his character's name. So he's sent to this sort of like location in the middle of absolute nowhere to to get this guy who's I think he's called a rabbit or something, and he's sent there with some of his colleagues or like FBI colleagues. So basically, Laurie Petty is like his like colleague, you can say, and also he's like cooperating with the Dale Midkiff's character. I can never pronounce his name for some weird reason, but so they're sent there to in order to arrest this guy called Rabbit because they want him to testify in this court against like some sort of mobster thing or like mafioso type of like scenarios. I'm not really sure exactly what he was supposed to like stand trial for. But anyway, so they're sent there in order to capture him, basically. But obviously, this doesn't really turn out as simple as it is because they are thinking of taking a detour in order to get to their location much faster. So they come across this road, which is not called Route 66, but it's not called Route 66, but it's actually called Route 666. And obviously, that's already a red flag right there. You shouldn't really go into a location like that. But obviously, I mean, because it's the title of the film, of course, they go in there, and there's some really crazy stuff that eventually happen in the film. I don't want to spoil too much about it, but it's basically like about this curse, where like when they're like on this specific road or like this highway, there's a curse right there, and it has some sort of connection with Lou Diamond Phillips's character, Jack, because he has some of these like weird flashbacks from time to time, and so he almost feels like he has been there before, or he knows something about this. So it's sort of like a little mystery as to what's really going on with this weird curse. So I don't want to spoil anything else than that because that's otherwise I will spoil the like the enjoyment out of this film because this is a film that I really appreciated, and obviously the acting is good as well. I mean, not every single actor is amazing or anything like that, but I mean they are good for what type of film this is, and I thought the premise in itself was quite fascinating and cool. So you can almost say that this is sort of like a mix between both action and horror in it, because I would say it has enough horror elements to it to call it a horror film, and it has enough action sequences to call it an action film. So this really falls into the same category as some of those other films that were released in the early 2000s or like the mid 2000s, where you basically have a group of people and they kind of get picked off one by one, sort of like a survival type horror film. And I'm a really big sucker for some of those films in general. The lighting is good, of course. The camera work is good. Blood and gore effects was really good as well. I was really surprised by that because at this point, when this film came out, there were lots of other films that kind of like just wanted to focus on the CGI effects, and some of those early 2000s CGI effects in general, they haven't really aged very well, unfortunately. But in this case, I'm really glad that they went more for the practical effects. And yeah, I mean, this is yeah, it's really surprisingly good. I actually thought this was going to be pretty low budget trash, really. But I mean, it is not the greatest film in the world, but it is entertaining for what it is. And yeah, I really appreciated this for what this was. And what else can I talk about? There's not too much in terms of music, really. It's okay, but it's kind of like it is what it is. But there's some like electric guitar and stuff like that in this one as well, which is kind of cool. But I mean, it's not really spectacular or anything like that. But yeah, in general, if you do like some of those survival films or like survival-esque type of horror films that were released during these years, go check this one out. The main reason why I wanted to check this one out was because it had Lou Diamond Phillips in it. I find Laurie Petty to be a little bit more of a I wouldn't say overrated actress, but I always had an issue with her voice. Obviously, she can't help what type of voice she has, but she has a very weird squeaky voice that I kind of like get annoyed by from time to time when I watch some of her films. But I think she did an amazing job in this one as well. So, and the reason why I want, like I said, the reason why I wanted to watch this was because of Lou Diamond Phillips. Because prior to this film, I had watched another film which was released in the early 2000s called Lone Hero, I believe, and that was obviously just like a standard action film. But when I saw him on the front cover of that film, I was expecting, oh, he's gonna be the like lead hero or like the lead character of this film. Turns out he was actually the bad guy. So I kept like watching all these films with Lou Diamond Phillips. I'm like really rooting for him to go back to his like older roots to be like a good guy in the films. So this was a really nice surprise to see that he was like a good cop or like FBI agent in this one. So anyway, I'm not really sure what else to say about it, but I mean, it's an entertaining film for what it is, I would say. And some of those bad reviews in general, it seems like they're really bashing too hard on this film. Because I almost feel like, what did you expect from a film called Route 666? I mean, to be fair, come on. Yeah, really entertaining for what it is. I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10, which might sound really weird for some of you people, but this is just my personal opinion, and I've stated why I like this film so much as I did. So, yeah, Route 666, right there. So yeah. So there you have it. That's my review for the film called Route 666. I'm not really sure if that was known as something else. I think that's actually the official title of the film as well, because sometimes when it comes to some of those early 2000s films, they tend to have really like lots of different types of titles for it, depending on where you're in, like if you're in the US or in the UK or like Europe, Asia, whatever. But yeah. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this particular video. I'm gonna try to continue with some of these horror review videos, and especially some of those like a little bit more obscure horror films in general, because no one really wants to see me make like a review of The Exorcist. Come on, because most people already know about that film. But yeah, anyway, hope you enjoyed this particular review, and see you in the next video. So yeah, take care, and bye bye.